Hey, well done everybody. So today we're going to be doing Claude Code 101 and the chapter that we're at today is context management. So let's get to it. Also, I'll make sure to add a link in the description. So the first thing we see here is pretty much the video, but as you know, we're going to read the article more so we can better understand it and then we'll watch the video. So first thing, context management. Let's zoom in a little. So it's a context is Claude's working memory. Every file it reads, every command it runs, every message you send, it all takes up space in the context window. Alright, cool. So what is the context window? Think of the context window as the amount of space Claude can hold in its memory. Whenever you enter a prompt, Claude reads a file, runs a tool call, or receives a tool call result. It's all adding to the context window. So pretty much anything we do, asking it anything, add to the context window. Since there's a finite amount of space, it becomes important to optimize how you use it. Okay. And I guess this is like just like a quick chart. I explained that. Alright. What happens what happens when context fills up? When you approach the limit, the context window is automatically compacted. That's like a new word we have to make sure we understand. Compacted. Compaction summarizes important details and removes unnecessary tool call results to free up space. Note that this process can potentially lose details. So it's not like it pretty much summarizes everything that we've been asking it just to free up space, but right here it said note that this process can potentially lose details. Cause maybe it summarizes it too much and then like miss out some important stuff. But yeah. And then I guess this is like just a screenshot of a conversation becoming compacted. And then I guess you get a compact summary. And it said this session is being continued from a previous conversation that ran out of context. Okay, I pretty much explained that. And now it's a commands. It said you can run compaction manually with the /compact command. This compacts everything up to that point. It's handy when you want to free up context space while keeping a memory of what you previously worked on. Cool. So you can just pretty much just run this automatically if like your context window hasn't full up, but you want to just make up some free space from early. You could run that manually yourself. And this is pretty much them doing it. So backslash or / and then just type in command. And I like that it gives a description. You see it says clear conversation history, but keep a summary in context. Alright? It said if you want to completely start from scratch with no memory of the previous session, run / clear. And that kind of, I kind of could see that. This removes everything. So, yeah. And it said to check the state of your context, run the / context command. Say run this, and then you'll see how much your context window space is available. You'll get a high-level overview of your context size, the categories taking up the most space, and a visual graphic showing the breakdown. Okay, so this is it. So right here you see them run / context. This is their context usage, system prompts. Oh, so all of these squares right here, the open ones, are the freed up space. So we have a decent amount here. And then it looks like auto-compact buffer. These are some auto-compact buffer ones. And then I guess, oh wow, a lot of it is system prompts. So system prompts took up 2.9K. And these are system prompts, right? Because you see the symbol? And then system tools took up 14.6K. The symbols for this look real the same. So do prompts and tools just use the same symbols? But it actually looks like system tools is the one because it's at 14.6 thousand tokens. So system tools actually using up the most tokens right now. And then messages 1.3K. Okay, so it's not super hard to read. So you can pretty much keep track of whatever you're doing. Honestly, I haven't had to really compact much, but yeah. A general rule of thumb, use / compact when you're working on a specific feature or running up against the context limit, but need to continue. Keeping the context relevant to your current feature is important. Okay. Alright, so let's read that one more time. Use compact when you're working on a specific feature and running up against the context limit but need to continue. Okay, so if you have context window space about to fill up, use compact if you're going to continue working on the feature. So you need that information to continue with you. All right. And it's a use /clear when you want to start a new feature. You don't want the previous conversation to introduce bias into something new. For things you want Claude to remember across sessions, put them in your Claude.md file so it doesn't have to rediscover things from scratch. Alright, so new feature where basically you want to start maybe a new branch, or just like you don't really care about the previous context, just clear it. So clear your context window with just /clear. And then this is just a Claude MD file where they're saying like stuff that you want for every session you could put in here. Boom, boom, boom. Run these suites every time. Tips for saving context space. Be specific. A vague prompt might seem smaller, but it actually costs more context in the long run. Interesting. Without clear instructions, Claude is forced to explore your code base more and do its own reasoning, which takes up far more context space than a detailed prompt would. Yeah, I could definitely see that. So if you just say, hey, fix a bug in this screen, basically, or fix a bug in the app where this is happening, and you don't tell it like which tab or which location, it's gonna have to probably search a wider space. More so like if you said fix a bug in profile, so it will go to profile, check the context or whatever, and it will focus that search versus searching all 4 other tabs or all 5 other tabs. Yeah. So manage your MCP servers. MCP servers load all of their available tools into context by default, even when you're not using them. Oh, that's annoying. If you have servers configured for things unrelated to the current project, consider turning them off. You can also try skills, which work similarly to MCP servers, but don't load everything into context up front. Use sub-agents. Okay, alright, so wait, before we even go to that. So MCP servers load all of their available tools into context by default, even when you're not using them. So that's taking up space, even if you're not using them. So it says if you have servers configured for things unrelated to the current project, consider turning them off. All that says to me is like, if you know you're not going to be using a certain MCP server, turn it off, because it's going to automatically get put inside a context window. And so you can also try skills, which work similar to MCP servers, but don't load everything into context up front. Cool. So use sub-agents. Sub-agents run in parallel with your main agent, but have completely separate context window. For tasks where you only need the answer like, where are the authentication endpoints located, a sub-agent does the work and returns just a summary to your main agent, keeping your primary context clean. Nice. Recap. Managing context within Claude Code is crucial. Use /compact to summarize long sessions and /clear to start fresh. To use your context window effectively, be specific with your prompts, check what's consuming your current context, and use sub-agents to delegate tasks where you only need the results. Okay, that was really good. I feel like we learned a decent amount here. Let's run the video just to see and cement some of this. It's only 3 minutes.
Context is Claude's working memory.
Yo, this is always the Claude Code guy. I don't know if he's the only guy, but Louis, you're doing a thing. Anyways, run it.
Every file it reads, every command it runs, every message you send.
What's his name? What's his name, bro?
Context is Claude.
Oh, Louis Many-Laws. Big up yourself, Louis Many-Laws. Many-Laws. Alright, big up. Alright, so next, let's see what we're going to do for the next one. So, in the next video, we're going to be looking at code reviews. Nice. So it's a Claude Code has a few built-in features that make your Git workflow faster. Let's go through them. So we're going to look at that in the next video though. So stick around, alright? So again, that was us doing Claude Code 101. Again, I'll put the link in the description to the course. Let's learn this together. Let's, get ready for this. AI is coming. It's here. Yeah. But again, this is the Nerdy Yardy, and let's learn. And remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, and add any comments you like. But remember the motto, anyone can learn anything with time, practice, and failures. All right? I'm out.